Hey, hello everyone, and thanks for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, City of Las Vegas Communications Director David Riggleman. Coming up on this show, FC Lights Football Club owner Brett Lashbrook is honored by our City Council, and we'll talk about what's next for Summerlin as growth continues out there. Here to discuss these topics and much more is the councilman who represents Ward 2. You know who it is, Steve Seroka. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, David.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. We have to say something about those nights, right?
How about that? Can you believe this season? It's been incredible.
It is wonderful. A bunch of misfits coming together and just really showing us how it's done, and they're really embraced the city of Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen anything like this in Las Vegas since the Rebels won the national championship in basketball back in 1990.
Wow, that's saying something.
So this is a big deal.
We got a good thing going. But what a humble and wonderful team there. I think we can all learn from them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And we're already talking about who's going to play each part in the movie. Who's going to be Flurry? Who's going to be Gallant? You know, so it's good stuff.
What a great problem to have.
It is.
Go Knights, go. Bring it home.
All right. Well, speaking of home, let's talk about Ward 2 a little bit.
Love it.
For those of you who don't know, we're going to show you Ward 2 is out on the western side of the city of Las Vegas, basically west of the Rainbow Curve. There's a lot of area west of the 215. We're going to talk about that today. We have a special guest on the show, Tom Warden from Howard Hughes Corporation. So much of that is going to be developed. It's exciting, and we're going to talk about what's next for Summerlin out there. But in the meantime, you took part in a very important ceremony, started on May 19th in Las Vegas, culminated on Memorial Day in Reno, and this was called the Battle-Born Ruck March. Tell us about this.
Wow, we have some really forward-leaning leaders at UNLV with their Rebel Vets program, the leaders of the Veterans program at UNLV, and at Truckee Meadows Community College up north. And they came up with the concept, an 8-day ruck march to carry over 7,000 dog tags of our warriors that have fallen, that are no longer with us, and to honor them and to recognize them. And what's really special about this, David, is the first 4 days of the Ruck March are going to be with warriors and veterans from the South. And they're going to be at a meeting point, and they're going to hand those dog tags off to warriors from the North. And they're going to bring them all the way up to the North, and on Memorial Day they're going to have a ceremony. But the whole idea here is we're one state. We're not a North and South state. And the veterans are determined to bring us together to be one Nevada, one great state of Nevada, right here honoring our fallen warriors.
And Councilman, you were one of the speakers, right, when this kicked off here in Las Vegas. And then from here is when the marchers went to the north, right?
They're on their way. They went on their way, and you know, it was at we have a great Veterans Memorial Park here in the Las Vegas area, and it's beautiful. And those two backpacks that you see in front of the podium there, they have about 3,500 dog tags each, and they weighed 50 to 70 pounds. They're heavy, so our warriors are really going to be carrying, and they're going to be feeling the burden of those that fell in our defense.
Councilman, for those that don't know, what is a ruck march? What does ruck mean?
Well, it's a rucksack. So
I see.
You put it's often you do it for training, but it's simulating real live combat operations.
I see.
So it's just to make you ready for the hardships of combat.
Gotcha.
And in combat, what you have on your back is what you have.
Right.
And this is just something we can do to honor. It's symbolic of our veterans. Our warriors are all familiar with what this is. Yeah. And to carry that burden and shoulder it of those that have shouldered it for us previously. Right. Just very important. And it's important that we, as our society, fewer and fewer of Americans have served their country. As I mentioned in the past, only 2% of Americans of this generation have worn the nation's uniform. So it is proper that we recognize these warriors, that we honor them. And I'll go as far as to say it is appropriate that we acknowledge that some of our citizens of our country have done more for the rest of us than others. And it's not self-serving, it's to recognize those that really have done this, that have gone before us and given us the freedoms and opportunities we have today. And this is just one thing we can do, and it's great that our young warriors are saying, let's do this for those that have come before us.
And we should mention, I think most everybody out there knows if they know Councilman at all, but if you're not familiar, he's a retired Air Force colonel, full colonel. Nellis Air Force Base was his last assignment, so He's now a permanent Las Vegas resident representing Ward 2. So this is passion for you.
It is. And I'm proud to say also I've been selected nationally as the chairman for the Nevada organization called Employer Support to the Guard and Reserve. It's a non-paid position, but it's an opportunity for us to connect those civilian warriors with employers and make sure that we're rewarding those employers to make sure they know they're serving too.
Yeah.
When they hire and employ guardsmen or reservists, they're part of the team, and we want them to know that we respect that and appreciate
We
that.
talked about that program last time you were on the show. If people want more information, we're going to tell you how to contact the councilman before the end of the program. Do it. It's a great program. It's a win-win. It helps the veteran who's getting out of the military, but employers also get to try these folks out for free, see if they work out, and then they can decide if they want to hire them on.
Please call.
Yeah.
We'd love to talk to you about all these programs.
Good stuff.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's shift gears a little bit, Councilman. I know you got a thrill out of this. You posted this on Facebook, in fact. You said, the city of Las Vegas recognized the Las Vegas Lights FC today, and specifically we recognize the FC owner, Brett Lashbrook, a guy, boundless energy, who came to council that day.
He's a great member of our community, and I was just walking into City Hall today and saw his name. There he is, Brett Lashbrook.
Brett's on the right, not on the left.
Yeah, that's Cash that he's with, and he has a little bit of personality and energy. And I was just sharing with you, David, before the show that I met Brett this summer, and he was just seeking feedback on the possibility of having a minor league soccer team in town. And already we're into this season. He has an idea, and he puts it in play. And no pun intended. And they're having a great season already, great success.
They are.
They're about middle of the pack in their division right now, and they have 10 points to their credit. But wow, what an energy they brought to our city, right, David?
For sure.
What an energy.
Oh, good crowds at Cashman for the games.
Crowds and marches and getting the support. And he's done this elsewhere. We know that if we do this right, we could end up with a Major League Soccer team here.
That'd be awesome. That'd be great. We've got an NHL hockey team. We got NFL football coming. We got the Aces in basketball, WNBA, and it'd be great to have MLS too here as well.
Great,
So.
and he's a great leader, a great part of our community. So we just want to make sure he got the thumbs up from all of us.
Much deserved.
Yes, much deserved,
Yeah,
Brett.
for sure.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Absolutely.
And Councilman, keeping that train of thought in mind, you also posted this on Facebook. You said, today I was able to recognize the Southern Nevada chapter of the International Code Council on their efforts to prevent childhood drowning. Now, this was a great program because we got a big check donated to the city for things like swim lessons and drowning prevention programs for young people.
Just unfortunately, every summer we have, and especially in a city like Las Vegas with lots of pools, we have toddlers that fall in the pool that don't know how to swim. And this program is geared to prevent that. So with that check, we're able to train toddlers with swimming lessons so that they know how to take care of themselves should they accidentally fall in the water. And they've been able to train over 400 of our local youth so far.
Yeah, it's good stuff. In fact, even if a child doesn't know how to fully swim, the program teaches them if you fall into the water how to spin around and grab onto the side of the pool.
Yeah, how to feel comfortable enough in the water to save your own life.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And they're great. Our toddlers are more incredible than we give them credit for.
Right.
But what a great donation, and we really appreciate what they've done for us in our community.
Thanks, International Code Council. We'll take that check. They've donated to us in the past, and we always put it to good use every year, no question. So.
And one of our very own, Kevin McCosker, is on their board, so it was a great that we're all together there.
He's our Building and Safety Director, and this is a passion for him because it's about keeping the community safe, especially young people safe.
Right.
All right. And Councilman, also big honor for you. You had this on Facebook as well. You said, I had the honor of leading a prayer on the National Day of Prayer at Las Vegas City Hall for our military and our first responders. This was a big deal.
Big deal. On the steps of City Hall. What a great honor to be able to make sure that our nation is thinking about those in harm's way and those that step in harm's way on our behalf on a regular basis. And I know my faith is very important to me, and I know our veterans and our first responders really appreciated to know the nation is behind them. And it was a great honor to have be able to say that prayer and lead a prayer in front of a large crowd on the steps of City Hall.
It's a tradition. National Day of Prayer is always right around the first part of May. And City Hall, Las Vegas City Hall, has always been a focal point for that. It's a place where people have gathered to recognize National Day of Prayer here in Las Vegas. And yeah, you were one of the main speakers this year. So
it was wonderful. I was surrounded by great faith leaders, and not being a faith leader myself, I was truly honored to be included in their company. And it was a great turnout. It was a highly energetic crowd, very passionate. And it was really great to see our community come together, especially after the year we've had.
Yeah.
And with 10-1 and the lights, or the Golden Knights and the lights, and having this opportunity, it all is coming together. We have a great city here, David. Really proud of our city.
All right. Councilman, thing I know you've been very excited about doing is you do your coffee with the councilman out there. You had one from May 17th. You had Captain Sasha Larkin from Metro's Northwest Area Command out there, right? There she is.
Well, the coffees are a great opportunity to just meet people in an informal environment, and it's great. People make it a point to come on out. And Captain Larkin, she knows that crime is a major concern for Ward 2, and she has not held back at all. She had 6 to 8 of her officers out there with her, engaging with members of the community to reassure them that she and her team are there for us. And they are building this relationship with the people of Ward 2. Ward 2 has more of the citizen watch communities than anybody else in our city.
That's awesome. That's great.
And it has a lot to do with how Captain Larkin and her team are engaging with our community. So it's not something our Metro police officers do by themselves. They are aware, and our community is embracing the fact that we have a responsibility ourselves to look out for each other. And it's really great to see how this is coming together. She's an amazing leader. Her people love her, but she's inspiring a sense of community with her officers. And they're happy to be there with us at Coffee with the Councilman. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, they also do an event, is it first Tuesday every month at each of the area commands. So if you couldn't get out to a coffee with the councilman, no worries, you can still meet at the Metro substations and area commands and talk with them, meet the officers, and discuss any issues that you might have.
Yes, Northwest Area Command is for the part of Ward 2 that is north of Charleston. So if you live north of Charleston, go on out first Tuesday. They provide you free food, and they have a topic, and it's a really engaging dialogue that goes on. If you live south of Charleston, it's Spring Valley Area Command, and they do the same thing, first Tuesdays, and they provide food and the topics of the month, and it's a real educational opportunity, and an opportunity to learn and meet the leaders and the officers of that area command.
Well, that's how they learn about what's going on in the different neighborhoods too.
Yes.
Not just the calls that come in for service, but by a dialogue with the community as well.
And as I tell people as an elected official, I don't know unless you tell me. Same with our police officers. They don't know unless we give them a shout out. Hey, we have a concern here or there. Or they also appreciate a thank you, appreciate what you're doing here, and you've really helped us reduce our crime wherever we are.
Councilman, we talk about crime in Ward 2. What are you experiencing, or what are you hearing mostly from our residents out there? Is it burglaries, auto burglaries? Is it What are the issues that are primarily taking place?
Fortunately, it's those kind of things, not the more violent crime, but it is car break-ins and home break-ins, and primarily what the thieves are looking for are guns and money. So please don't leave any cash in your car. Please don't leave any weapons in your car. One thing that Captain Larkin and the other captains will share on a regular basis is this year we've had about 250-ish weapons stolen.
Wow.
And unfortunately, when there's a police-involved shooting, it is those weapons that were stolen that are primarily used by the bad guys. So the police are having those stolen weapons used against them in shootouts. So please lock your weapons up, follow the safety protocols, and don't leave your garage door opener in your car if it's outside, if it's parked outside, because they break in your car. Take your garage door opener, get right in your home. And truly, they're looking for guns in cash. So lock those up, put them away, make sure your car is safely put away.
Good advice. Good advice all the way around. Councilman, you had a wonderful movie in the park back on April 14th. I think it was Coco, right?
It was Coco, and the weather's was perfect.
Well, look at that, great evening. The kids also did the little masks they made up. They're there. It's like you're wearing one too there.
Yeah, the kids are having a lot of fun. It's a nice time. The weather's perfect, and the sun's going down a little bit later. So we take advantage of the time before sunset to engage with the community and come out with a blanket. And there's some free food. There's some food to there's free popcorn, but there's some food you can buy as well. We have local food trucks come out and provide some fun. It's really a casual and fun time. And I get to go meet all the families. It's great for me to get to meet people in that environment. Now, we talked about Captain Larkin and how she likes to engage with the community. They are coming out at when we have the next movie in the park.
And I tell everybody about that, Councilman. Hey, if you missed the first one, don't worry, because we have another one June 2nd. The movie will be Wonder. And Councilman Captain Larkin's coming out with her crew too?
Her troops are going to come out, and they're going to bring some fun things to engage with the children, because that's a great opportunity for the children to learn, meet, and learn to trust our law enforcement officials. And the fire department as well, they're going to be coming out with some of their gadgets and goodies.
Oh, good.
So we're building that public safety connection with our community, because it is so important to our residents. And our police are spread so thin, they don't always get a chance to engage on a daily basis. So they're so leaning forward and engaging that they're just going to come on out and say hi.
Sounds good.
And then we get to see a good movie, Wonder. And the weather is just really, it's been wonderful. At Bruce Trent Park, June 2nd, 7:30, we'll be just hanging out. And then when it gets dark, we'll roll the movie.
Sounds good. That's at the corner of Rampart and Vegas Drive.
Wow, well done.
Yeah.
Yes,
so.
it's getting to be more known as we're doing this on a more regular basis now.
Good
So
stuff.
coming out, crowds are getting bigger.
I like that. I like that. It's going to be fun. All right.
Yes.
We have a special guest I mentioned. We're going to talk about bringing him on next. So, hey, we need to take a short break, but when we come back, Summerlin continues to evolve as a new phase of development brings even more amenities and entertainment to the area. That's next. We're going to talk about it right after this.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it.
You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back, everyone. Home to over 100,000 residents, Summerlin is ranked the 4th best-selling master plan community in the entire nation, and the area continues to grow. Joining us now to talk more about the future of Summerlin is Tom Warden, Senior Vice President with the Howard Hughes Corporation. Tom, thanks for being here. And Councilman, I got to warn you, Tom and I go way back, so this may go a little off the rails at some point.
It's possible.
It's a possibility.
I'm looking forward to that, but he does look different than the
He
last
looks
time I
good.
saw
He
him.
looks- Tom always
He
looks
has this
great.
all on his face here.
There's a bit of a thing happening here. It's it's a playoff beard,
go.
and it's a lot of work, I got to say, because it just keeps growing in black, and I have to dye it gray.
I got the same problem,
Gravitas,
Tom.
you know what I'm saying?
I
Yes,
just-
you do. You know.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, so far, it's working.
It's working. Keep it up. Please keep it up.
Okay.
Tom, great to have you on here. I know Councilman's thrilled to have you on as well.
Absolutely.
The future of Summerlin is as bright as it's ever been. Most of the development within the city of Las Vegas, west of the 215, is going to be in Summerlin, is it not?
I think a lot of people are shocked to find out that we have so much more land yet to develop. I mean, we've been at this for a long time. I think people may tend to think, oh, they got to be done, right? We have, I'm going to say 6,500 acres yet to develop, and well over 5,000 of it is in Summerlin West. That's the city of Las Vegas. So that's future growth, it's neighborhoods, it's commercial centers. It's going to be all kinds of more Summerlin community that most people already love who live there.
Yeah.
So
I'm
yeah,
one of
we
them.
have a long way to go, sure.
Councilman, I know this is going to be a big impact on your ward. I mean, a lot of the growth west of the 215, that's you.
It's going to make Ward 2, it's going to really explode Ward 2, but also the city. And one of the things we've talked about is what Howard Hughes Summerlin does is so wonderful for the city that we all benefit from what they do. Is they build community centers. They built Fire Station 43. They're building a new police area command station. They build parks and community centers, and those are for the benefit of the city, so the city of Las Vegas does not have to pay for that kind of infrastructure. So those
Spreads that
dollars
money around then.
Spreads it around all the other wards of the city of Las
Sure.
Vegas. So thank you to Howard Hughes and Tom, all that you do in that regard.
The formula for a master plan, Councilman, it's a good idea. I mean, you're building this community, but you're building it out so that you don't have to go back and redo roads and everything.
Right.
And so the idea is that as you go, you're creating more value. So what's really kind of the charge for us is to continue to build the quality that maintains the level of value for everybody who already lives there and for the homes that are going to be built in the future. And we're going to be doing this for a while. I mean, that expanse of land we're talking about, that could be 15 years, could be 20 years, which probably a good thing because I checked the 401k today and I need to work for a while. Even though I'm in my late 90s, I need to work.
You know, it happens. It happens. Tom, is there anything that will be different in the expansion as Howard Hughes and Summerlin moves forward? Anything different from what we've seen in the past? Anything, or is it going to be that kind of the same idea of a master plan community where you know what's coming, like you're saying, you know where the roads are going to be, the community centers?
It's an evolving plan. The master plan is not set in granite. It's an evolving living document. And so if you look at the homes that people moved into in 1991, those neighborhoods are a lot different than the stuff that's being built now. Well, it's going to continue to evolve. And boy, that's what's going to happen in Summerlin West, in Ward 2. You're going to see neighborhoods that are traditional suburban type neighborhoods, but you're also going to see some town center areas that'll be right next to the 215, sort of where the Summerlin Parkway comes into the Beltway right there. That'll be a front door for Summerlin West. And you're going to see some town center type building there, which will include multifamily, mixed use. It'll be a very vibrant, really cool area, and so that'll be a little different. Also, something that's new to Summerlin will be the substation that the councilman mentioned. And that substation is going to be built not far from where Summerlin Parkway comes into Summerlin West.
Okay.
And that's another example of what the councilman was saying, that this is something that we are committed to do as part of our development agreement with the city of Las Vegas. We're building it and we're going to equip it. And in a couple of years, that's going to be an up and running substation that'll be really serving the whole western rim of the valley.
Wow. You know, go ahead, Councilman.
I was just going to share one of the things that caught my ear, Tom, when you hold your quarterly meetings where you invite the Metro Area Command and the HOA community leaders and your elected officials in the area, is when you talked about how you're building schools in those new communities, but you're designing them with the opportunity to walk to school without having to cross streets. So you are building sidewalks and green paths to the schools with safety in mind for our children. And that was really a wonderful thing to plan ahead for.
Well, we know that the people in Summerlin love those trails, and they tell us so in all of our surveys. They say that's the #1 amenity of living in Summerlin. And so that's good, but it's more than just a nice place to get out and walk a little bit. Our planners, Julie Cleaver is our Senior Vice President of Planning in specific, plans out these trails so that they collect the kids from the various neighborhoods, and it terminates in a park that's next to a school. And we've done this before, and that's what we're talking about, is creating a safe route to school. It's taken the parents off the road grid, and it's even an air quality issue because they're not sitting there with the engine running waiting to pick the kid up.
Sure.
And boy, for little kids to be able to blow off some energy and get out in nature and run around a little bit, it's all good. And so I'm always impressed with what the planners come up with in this master plan that we're building. It's really a lot more than meets the eye.
You know, that's one of the nice things about it, Tom. I think you hit it on the head. It's you're living in the city, but you've got more of almost more of a rural feel almost. That you're outside. It's more of like living in a park area versus living in the city. But in fact, you are in the city. You're within the city limits. So that's the nice balance that it strikes.
You bet.
And that's actually in our master plan for our city, is to design and build to that level. And Howard Hughes continues to set the standard for us. But I wanted to piggyback on something, if I could, Tom. You mentioned parks. And we currently have a wonderful park by Billy Basiliada's school there, an 18-acre park that's so awesome that people come from all over the city to be a part of. But this new design has a 95 or 70 acre plus park out that way. So can you want to share a little bit about that?
That's one of the biggest parks we've ever even conceived of. And the reason it's in Summerlin West like that, we're working with Tim Hacker of the Parks and Rec Department of the city and Tom Perigo as well. It's because that area is so beautiful. When you look up that alluvial plain that goes up to the toes of the mountains, you want to preserve those view sheds. And building a long acre, 70-plus acre park, it could be as high as 95, and go all the way up, you're going to preserve those views forever of the mountains, and you're going to provide tremendous recreational opportunities for all the people who want to come there and do great stuff. We're going to work with the city on a couple of projects that the city will be directly involved in there too, and it's really, it just kind of sets the tone. We're very much tuned in to what people want to do. It's not a question of building a community that you shoehorn people into. You find out, how do people really want to live now? How has it changed? And then you implement a community that answers that.
Makes sense. And you know, Tom, we should also talk about this. In addition to just residential, you guys have had great success with downtown Summerlin.
Yeah.
And the 51s, baseball is going to be out in that area of town as well. Not within the city limits, but just adjacent to it.
Oh, it's a block away. And it's going to be a wonderful place for residents of the city to come to with their family, because AAA baseball is really family oriented. It's affordable and it's really fun for the kids. There's going to be a kid zone. There's going to be a pool in center right. There's going to be a squirt park. It's going to be so much fun. Great food. And you know, a lot of people who go to AAA baseball games don't even know who won when they leave. And that's okay, because it's really about the experience. It's about having a wonderful night out that's really affordable, and we think it fits perfectly with that active outdoor lifestyle that we promote in Summerlin. Yeah.
And it's right next door to the Golden Knights practice facility.
Right. All there.
How about that? You know, it would have been really cool to have the Golden Knights practice facility in the center of downtown Summerlin, even if they didn't do well in the season. But to have them have this killer season like this, and historic to boot, the energy in that building and what it's bringing, the energy it's bringing to all of downtown Summerlin is extraordinary. I go by there many times a day. I see little kids carrying equipment bags that are way bigger than they are. This is youth hockey. They're creating a fan base.
They said they would.
Oh, they said they'd do it, and they're doing it. And I just think it's wonderful how they've been adopted by the community and what they've done for this community.
Good deal. Gentlemen, we're about out of time here. Tom, final word. Councilman, anything you guys want to add?
Well, I want to thank Tom for his playoff beard. Keep up the good work with that.
Looks good.
Keep working hard. I really appreciate the relationship you have with all of us here in the city.
Well, I feel the same way, Councilman, and I know we're doing good work to make this place a wonderful place to live. And I contemplated shaving, but my wife said no, because I get blamed if anything happens.
Oh, yeah, it's a jinx. Don't touch anything. That's right.
It's staying.
Exactly. All right. Tom, thanks so much. Councilman, we're going to tell everybody out there, hey, we always want to hear from you, so if you have something you'd like to share with Councilman Seroka, you can find him on Facebook and Twitter. And by the way, if you leave a comment, we may use your post on our next show. Love to hear from you. You can also contact the Councilman by picking up the phone, 702-229-6405, or send him an email. His address is sseroka@lasvegasnevada.gov. All right. Great job, Councilman. You'll be back in 6 weeks with another update from Ward 2. And Tom, we'll have you back in the future on the future of summer. This was exciting. This is really, after all these years, it's amazing. It's still growing. That's incredible. It's good stuff.
Thanks for having me, David. It's great.
Good to have you on the show. Good to see you, my friend.
Thanks, David.
And we want to thank you for joining us on this edition of Access City Council. Don't miss our next show beginning on June 7th with Ward 5 City Councilman Cedric Creer. And don't forget, you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time around.